So with the launch of Borderlands 4, we have a lot of people looking for solid legendary items to help carry them through the game. And so far, the number one item that I have suggested to everybody is going to be a shield that you can get from the very first boss that you fight in the game. Now, this isn't the boss that's in the main tutorial. This is going to be once you actually going into the open world and able to actually farm this with the Moxie Encore machine. Before I get into this, know you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778. I'm likely actually streaming right now over on twitch.tv/Byrdman778. So swing on by, let me know if you watch this video. Let me know some of you're interested in seeing down below, whether it's Vex, Amon, Harlow, or Rafa. Subscribe, become a member, and let's get right on into this. So this first boss that you're going to see is going to be Splashzone. He's literally just a large badass psycho that has a modifier of leaking, where essentially he's just going to pick up random element and he's going to have a trail of that underneath him constantly, and he's going to leave a trail of it as he's running around. He's a pretty easy boss to fight. He just has a red health bar, nothing else really to it, and he has a pretty decent size loot pool of items. He has a legendary shotgun, the lead balloon, which I don't really recommend. He also has the jelly, which is a really solid COV Ripper grenade. But the main one we're going to talk about today is going to be this Torg shield called the Fireworks. Now, this is going to be an armor shield, so it's going to have those armor segments that are slowly building up over time. And so far, I have really liked these armor shields, just purely off the fact that you get a little bit more damage reduction from them. I always felt like with regular, energy shields and stuff, enemy that was like a shock enemy or something like that was going to instantly nuke that off of you. So this is a really solid one to kind of deter from that. Now, obviously, you're a little bit more susceptible to cryo and corrosive especially, but at the same time, I just really like how this works. Also for the fact that as you're running around, you're able to pick up those like plates from dead enemies. That's going to fill up your shield for you over time, alongside that just continuously growing recharge bar. What does the Fireworks shield do though? Its main legendary perk is bundled. On kill, spawns missiles that home in on nearby enemies and deals a certain amount of damage. So obviously that's going to scale up as you are growing in power. The one I'm looking at right now is a level 50 and does 7,436 damage. So that is really freaking sick. The fact that it's an on-kill effect for a shield. And trust me, I'm not even kidding you. This will carry you through 99% of the mobbing in this game. I would say like the biggest time that it's like not really effective is going to be indoors, just because those projectiles are going to fly very high up in the air. So if they're not able to fly up and arch down on anything, you're not going to really be able to take advantage of it as much. It also has a second perk that is on every single one of them as well, the Missile Swarm. On armor segment break, launches 3 missiles, each dealing, again, a certain amount of damage depending on exactly where you're at that time. So essentially, you have 2 different ways of constantly activating these missiles that are going to fly around and hit targets. I'm not kidding you, it's carried me through my entire Rafa playthrough. I have to take it off at times to test builds just because of the fact that these Fireworks projectiles will absolutely nuke everyone around me, essentially invalidating whatever setup I am running at that time. Quick thing to note with this is the fact that these can actually chain off of each other. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say I just kill a random psycho, those firework projectiles shoot off to a different psycho and hits them. It will create a secondary firework explosion that will go off to the next guy, which will go off to the next guy, and so on and so forth. This is what I'm saying with the fact that it is going to constantly carry you through so much content. Also note, depending on exactly what resistance you have on that shield at that time will change exactly what element it's going to be at that time. I mean, personally, if you're going like Red Tree Rafa, especially bottom left corner, I recommend getting a fire one just because you can take advantage of that. But, a kinetic one has seemed to be like the best one across the board for a lot of my friends who've used it, just because it just has that flat damage to anyone no matter what. So it's really solid. Also note, it is actually going to come down and hit enemies in the head most of the time. So it's going to pretty much just like insta-kill them. It makes it really great for the modifier 1 crit wonder, just for the fact that you can just shoot one enemy, you get those projectiles going to shoot off and then start chaining off one another, essentially making what is going to be a very difficult modifier a whole lot easier. I cannot emphasize enough how important I think this shield is. Now, obviously, this is not going to be insane for like bossing or anything like that, just because, again, most of the time those giant arenas are going to be more focused on you just doing damage to that boss rather than the ads around them. But most of these boss arenas, whether it is a vault, whether it's a main story boss, are going to have regular ads around them. So you're able to activate this on them and get a little bit extra damage across the board. Again, I recommend this for anybody on Rafa that is using Peacebreaker cannons, just for the fact that you can turn, look at some of those targets that are going around the arena. Your turrets are going to target them, hit them, and activate these projectiles that are just going to benefit you in the long run. Quick pro tip for all of my Rafa mains out there: the firework projectiles count as indirect projectiles. And what I mean by that is, if you look at his tree, there is a thing called asymmetric warfare. Indirect projectiles gain increased damage. Indirect projectiles include all action skill weapons, thrown guns, and projectiles not fired from your gun, aka the projectiles that are coming from that. So you are going to get a huge bonus to that, 45% if you just do the 5 points in asymmetric warfare. Plus, you're able to benefit from things like Errant Spark. Again, I recommend for the Rafa players getting a fire version of this, just because you're able to double that incendiary bonus with those projectiles. Trust me, it is absolutely freaking stupid. Also, you're able to take advantage a bit of some lifesteal from hostile acquisition. So again, Fireworks Shield is going to be Rafa's best shield without a doubt. Overall, I think shields in this game have been absolutely freaking stupid. I definitely recommend that everybody is farming this shield almost immediately. Not only are you going to get some good XP from Splashzone, but you're also going to have a chance at this shield that will, again, make your life so much easier as you go on. Let me know in the comments down below, what is an item you found that you've absolutely loved. I would love to do some showcases on this, but I do know that my good friend Jolts is going to be having a lot of item guides on his channel, so make sure you're checking out some of those. I just wanted to make this video highlighting this one just because of how important I think it is to literally every single player's, like, you know, journey through the game, just because, again, it'll make that mobbing section a whole lot easier, especially once you are going to Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 on a fresh character. Again, make sure you're following me on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778. Give it a thumbs up on this video. Let me know some of your interested in seeing down below, whether it's Rafa, Amon, Vex, or Harlow. Subscribe, become a member. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great night, day, whatever it may be.